Subia is a poet, organizer, leader, and student.
Whoa!
He is in his last year, we're gonna miss you, at SFSU as a creative writing undergraduate. A Bay Area-born Hispanic and Polynesian male, his poetry touches topics of masculinity, race, inequality, social consciousness, faith, queerness, love, love, and love.
Damn!
He has been a member of the 2013 and 2014 SFSU National Poetry Slam teams, most recently placing top 7 in the nation and top team in California. He is SFSU's 2013 Grand Slam champion, competed with San Jose Slam representing his city at the 2014 National Poetry Slam this past August, recently published in the Brooklyn-based literary magazine Invitation/Annual, and is the current president of Spoken Poetry Expressed by All Kinds. Speak at SFSU. Everyone please welcome Jarvis Subia.
And I'll start charging a fee. That's like my really extensive, like fancy bio. Where you try to say everything to make yourself sound bigger than what you are. I do it. Who was it? Casey Laureate. Who was it in our class? Like in a creative writing 2 weeks ago, had like a 15-page resume.
Oh yeah. Joseph McBride, right?
Joseph A. McBride.
Yeah.
So Joseph McBride came to our class and like they sent us a speech. Like read these things before coming to class. He had a 15-page, like everything he ever done in his entire life since he was born. And I was like, I need to get on my shit. So I'm gonna go back to bio. Do some new shit, some old shit, some blue shit, some borrowed shit. It's like we're getting married. Bella, do you accept?
We accept. Yes.
Aww,
We welcome.
happiest brown bearded queer man ever.
Yeah.
Okay. So this poem by the way is like fresh. Like I probably just finished it yesterday, so that might be a little rough. By just finished, I mean I wrote more to it. I'll probably finish it again tomorrow. It's a finishing poem. Can I get the mic turned down just a little bit?
Turn it up.
So some of these poems you might hear again if you come to this thing called the Grand Slam Finals on November 7th, because that's what I'm preparing for. But I'll read them for you because you guys get like sneak preview. Subtitled. 3 things my mother will always tell me before leaving the house, as if her tongue is a prayer, are be safe, I love you, and are you coming home tonight? To which I'll stretch a grin across my face, breath heaving out a chuckle, and I'll respond, I love you too. I promise not to bring home any babies, and tonight I don't know if I'm coming home. As a child, my mother didn't let me out much. Was overbearing without reason, always wanted to know where I was, what I was doing every minute of every day, told me walk straight to your grandmother's house after school, stay where I can see you, don't ask me to go outside one more time. I would sit down, stare at the TV, and cuss the shit out of SpongeBob. I'm 20 years old watching a video on YouTube or World Star or Ghetto Glamour television about 7-year-old Latarian Milton crashing his grandmother's car all over a 1-mile radius, and during the interview tells reporters, I wanted to do hood rat stuff with my friends. I begin to understand my mother's logic. Just like when I was in when my high school campus risen with tear gas under the pepper sprayed eyes of kids just trying to eat lunch, just learning the first lesson in what martial law is as a SWAT team intervenes during a campus-wide brawl. The thing is, most our lessons growing up aren't taught in the classroom. When a 16-year-old girl is stabbed 17 times during 5th period, you learn that these lessons are a means of survival. When you watch the TV show Cops is filming its 26th season in San Jose, California, it becomes easier at those times to revert back inside the home or the classroom or behind the TV and accept that this is not your problem. It becomes easier just to accept the pattern as solution than puzzle, as if these hood folks keep killing each other, as if these hood folks continue to killing each other as a Babylonian genocide, allow the young brown bodies obese with blood to leak crimson onto the asphalt, refill the chalk outlines, same white barrier, letting the murder know where its place is. Two of my family's friends, father and son, are executed in home during a home invasion nearly 1 mile from my family. A bullet packed for each of them is the first time I seriously consider buying a gun. At what point is it okay to claim ourselves as militant? To become constantly aware of the violence around you and be ready for it, coining words like Chirac exchanging phrases like the hood is getting too real. Maybe the battle is closer than we had thought, continuing to send our soldiers to the slaughter when the casualties are already stacking up here at home. Maybe the difference between the extremist mindset and the home front is how many bullets are in your chamber today. How helpless is not just watching your neighborhood be attacked, but your family too. Same as a man just out of prison can spend his first days free putting a gun in my brother's gut. Tell me why. They tell me you resemble him so much. How we share the same face, that look that tries not to vomit back all this fear. To not let it eat you alive is the largest instinct for survival, and then are taught that survival is taught in how fast our feet move from fight or gunshot or police, how they are enemy too, how every siren is an excuse to stop and frisk, is an excuse to mistake my father's tattoos for gang affiliation, to hold me at gunpoint and put my face into the asphalt under the excuse that I match the profile. Motherfucker, I was born into this profile to this reason to hide, to keep the nerves on their toes at any sight of badged uniform, to end my sentences with a yes sir, yes ma'am, to know how quickly the light of a cop car can become the light of God, because standing your ground is the fastest way to birth a proud casket, because standing your ground is the fastest way to birth a proud casket. I've known too many friends who found their faith in the barrel of a gun, how a funeral will always end in a church before they put you in the ground. It comes to the point where I just don't know what to do with myself anymore, as if to keep running, or let this new faith consume me, to buy the heat or wait on my porch for the flames. How hot it is to leave my house. It is a Russian roulette if I don't know if I'm coming back today. I tell my mother I love her like it's the last time she'll ever hear it, and I count down the days until the bullets reach my doorstep, until my hands learn the trigger. November 7th, be there.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me say this one a little louder. Thank you guys. That was my first time reading that. So I appreciate it. Okay. So speaking of my beard.
Yes.
This next poem is written after this another spoken word artist who I borrow her cadence, and it's Desiree Dale Giacomo. Go on YouTube, look her up. She's a poem called Dies. It's fantastic. And this poem's after her. My beard is hairy. My beard is thick in all the right places. My beard is Castro Street Bear in full effect. My beard is Grizzly's wet dream. My beard is a black forest of redwood. It will not offer itself as lumber. My beard jacks up razors. My beard is often the result of me refusing to pay Gillette's high prices, which can only be considered facial prejudice. My beard despises disposables, despises electric razors, despises Nair for men. My beard likes to call itself Spartan. And if ever questioned about its color or motion, to kick you square in the chest and shout, "This isn't Rogaine!" My beard wants to challenge your beard to a wrestling match, in the hopes that our beards become so entangled they become one giant beard, or even better, Siamese beards joined at the chin. Yeah. My beard once met the beard of the most interesting man in the world. He now goes by John. My beard doesn't always drink beer. When it does, it will hog all the foam. My beard is a whiskey-stained, crumb-filled, coffee-encrusted mess. My beard will always save some for later. My beard comes from a long line of facial hair. My father is two handlebars gripped tight around the lips. My beard's grandfather, or grandbeard as the furries say, is only comparable to that of a Puerto Rican Gandalf the Great. My beard, unfortunately, is not magic, or an illusion, or great. My beard is not a disappearing act for the boy I used to be. It's not a muzzle for every cat call I've barked out like a vulgar growl, nor a shroud to apologize for the face that claimed safety before insecurity. It is not a cushion to fall onto every time I've let someone in and break me. My beard is resiliency even when I am cut down and struggling, when I am stubble, growing back into potential, when manhood is more than I wish to bear. Most days, my beard is just a cover for the masculine I wish I had. Like facial hair could lie a man onto the boy I am still learning to grow out of, covering up all the smooth and youth of my face. voice is my way of saying I am still rough around the edges, on misplacing responsibility and blame onto other people, hiding behind this beard like I once did my mother's legs, from the reality that though adult, I am still searching for manhood. I am still prepubescent preteen, counting the sprawls poking out between his legs because my father had worked 3 jobs all my life to support his family and didn't have the time to teach me the shade because my grandfather trimmed off his morning and nights and drove 3 hours a day and earned the crumbs that filled his children's plates. My beard is work ethic and determination, looking genetic, looking like my 40-minute commute to school or my 30-minute commute to work, looking like working 60 hours a week just to tell your parents and not to worry about the rent, just to sweep up the loose change and buy myself a razor. My beard is because growing up has never been easy, because I'm still learning to accept this face all scarred and stern and man I want it to be. My beard is and always will be the soft voice that whispers to me, you are, you can, you will be. I think we said something about therapists being expensive.
South Africa.
This next one I got in the brain.
Nice.
On the brain.
So that's my shit poem from like last year. When I was going through a lot, and then I wrote this poem. Could go through a lot and then read shit, and then I look back and be like, oh shit, I'm totally past that now.
There it is.
Speak on it.
I often lay awake at night and wonder if your bedroom will be my destination or another midnight confessional. Will I tell you of the others who howled my name to the moon, the flesh that I werewolf for when I turn lustful, who not only bear my secrets with me but accept them? This drug-like sex addiction, my bisexual tendencies, the self-conscious swinging between my thighs, we deposit into each other, asking for it, like it's divinity, like we see God in each other, how intimate can be when you tell me I am not holding back, when there is nothing between us but skin and sweat. You will tell me how secrets are not meant for closet doors. That is not intimate, that is hiding. You will ask me how long I have been hiding. It was my sophomore year of high school. The first time my lips led me to press into another man's body, his dark lips tasted of the Doritos and wine coolers we just finished indulging. For months, I told myself it was drunken coincidence. That the nights I spend thinking of my hands digging into the back of his coarse afro curls was just a phase, an experiment gone terribly wrong, that my attraction to men wasn't already there for years. So I hid my identities between the gridiron and the wrestling mat. I wore the uniform of a straight boy, only stuffed this curiosity further back in the lockers. I began putting the homos at the ends of every one phrase, like, I like your eyes, no homo, or nice smile, no homo, or can I have a hug? My mouth became an open wound I was trying to stitch back shut. There is no closet acceptance can fit inside of the people around me, must accept the beautiful that I'm becoming. So when being a man and loving a man do become synonymous, we could hold our masculinities in the space between pressed lips, allow truth to become our loudest roar. Acceptance is the only escape from the closet, dressing ourselves in our most fabulous secrets. Like my heart deserves it bleeding against my sleeves. Bisexuality isn't just about sex. It's not about thrusting myself into any open bodies willing to take me in. It's about learning to stand in my own body. It's about knowing that who I am comes before who others want me to be. It's about allowing this heart to walk in the places unfamiliar when I do not recognize myself. As I know to love unconditionally as if you were the beacon I've always been searching for. The truth is, I have no idea who I'll end up being or being with. What gender preference we choose to call ourselves brave slipped in our voice from defining that our sexuality may not need any label, knowing that we could be nobody other than ourselves. I'm still deciding who I am. Still love too hard and too often. I am far from perfect. But it starts with taking the skeletons inside of my closet and burying them. Got 2 more for you, and then it's a wrap. Speaking of love, it's like my newer love poem. It's still a sad love poem, but I haven't written love in a while, so I'm happy about it. Right, go love. Sad face love. Okay. Love, so this is not me right now. Love takes off the mask we fear we cannot live without and know we cannot live within. I use the word love not merely in the personal sense, but as a state of being or state of grace, not in the infantile American sense of being made happy, but in the tough and universal sense of quest and daring and growth. James Baldwin. I've taken off my masks many times before. Each time the peel, more painful than the last, the rind, more bitter than before, I have torn this self open and offered the sweet of this flesh to those who do not care to know the value of this nectar. The ones I've let in and devour me whole, you see, is the way I have been taught to love, to eat and be eaten, the constant consumption of each other until we are made full. It is the most palatable pear, and my mouth has grown hungry. Can you not see the spirit slowly becoming a carcass of try and fail again, becoming the barren soil to offer no fruit each time I have replanted myself, saying, the next one will not hurt me, the next one will not tell me she loves me inside the mouth of another man, the next boy will stay and understand when I tell him I just do not know. I have witnessed many practices of love in my life, each of them a different joy in itself. No matter how many dinner plates came to meet the wall, or wandering eyes turned wandering hands, but still becomes the need to learn to love again, an anniversary too golden to remember all the hurt. It is why we have claimed the word, why we have not yet renamed it the bastard child of spite. I need to know that love is more than spite or feral emotion groveling at the floor of our guts, but for all reasons is a state of grace, is the song we dance to from a rhythm that comes from inside the chest, but ask for no choreography, just movement. So will you take this dance? Rest your head upon my chest and hear that there is still life here. This is the two left foot salsa, ready to move until my knees are weak and your back is stiff, until our eyes become wrinkled and weary, until the plot in the earth swallows us back into itself. Plant a rose bush instead of a gravestone there to bloom in our place, each petal a memoir, saying how beautifully we grew, saying how love could still bloom where the dead lay. I had seen you once before in my dreams. It felt much like my mother's womb and resembled the mirror, and I have since vowed to scour this green earth until I find arms just as warm, until I can find a sun and somebody that can make my branch back upright again, and love myself enough to finally allow me to grow towards you or die trying. I do not know much of love. I have never known it beyond its sea. But what I do know, what I've always known, is that I'm searching. So I like to do this analogy that these spaces are essentially church, that we are in the form of our own church.
Yeah.
Who doesn't go to church and has that guilt? So right now, today is Sunday.
Who doesn't?
Today,
Church of Rock and Roll count?
exactly. This is the way you live right now. This is our church. This is our thing. So just before I leave, I just want to do a little church thing. Everybody turn to the person next to you and tell them I love you. Love you, be well. It's that sense of community we long for outside.
Love you.
We love you.
I love you guys.
Hey, I love you.
Alright. This is that church that we long for outside of little 8-ounce, 2-pound baby Jesus. Alright, this last poem I'm going to do, it's fun writing, it's fun performing. Does anybody in here like Justin Bieber? Just out of curiosity. Cool.
I don't know the guy.
No, like you guys like his name? No? Okay, cool, because you're my audience right now.
It's perfect.
So you guys are gonna like this poem. I did it in a room one time, like everybody raised their hand. I was like, shit. That's the wrong question to ask. Okay. A petition to Justin Bieber. In January of this year, you, Justin Bieber, were apprehended and arrested for drag racing 2 luxury sports cars while under the influence, sparking a nationwide petition that have you deported from this country.
Word.
Bieber. Bieber. I bet you don't know what the sirens feel like. I bet the red and blue will easily tint your skin into something they recognize. I bet you didn't sweat a bullet in the back seat and your first call was to your publicist. I bet you tipped the driver out of impulse. I bet being arrested felt like any other day. I bet you slept well that night, not even recognizing that you were an example that reluctantly leaks its way into statistics. Even when you share a jail cell with the same disadvantages colored males face against ringing sirens, you sit back and mugshot smile like you deserve all of this entitlement. As if you were all gift but never offering. I've seen people like you before. The same ones who will gladly watch the fans who chant your name, snatch back the flag placed on your back, the one used to beat your image until it's all red, white, and blue, then go home and call it till it's all red, white, and blue. I bet they call you an aftermarket bad boy. A cheap imitation of a Miley Cyrus breakdown. Coming to this country only in an attempt to boost the ethnic in your image, but what borders your ethics? Just because you top billboards doesn't make you unreachable, but you should know. This poem isn't shame. It's consciousness up close, an embrace so snug you can feel your own parameters because to feel your own parameters, know that we are not all signing the petition against you, that I am not signing the petition to deport you back to Canada because we do not all agree with INS. In fact, there are over 3 million undocumented in California alone who want to be just like you and become aspiring citizens, except for them running into the law equates the law, ripping you from your home like the horror stories I've been told of friends, same age as us, forced into guardianship to keep siblings from becoming orphaned, or a busload of children we told we ain't got the taxes to keep you here, but I got it to keep you out. Undocumented is often treated as illegal, is often treated as criminal, and we are taught that freedom isn't free unless you live here, and wonder why Americans feel so entitled. If deported, would you make the pilgrimage back over the ice and snow? Like my grandmother crossed all sand in 110 degrees, like other brown-skinned hopefuls fleeing the most homicidal cities this world has to offer. How bad is Canada for you to act like you don't want to go back? Is this the America you dreamed of, to be conquered, forgotten, and exiled like my ancestors who were told their melanin is not a right to their land or language, not where destinies manifested? The same reason why I share your privilege and my voice is a little more English and a little less bracero. The name of the game is assimilation. The rules are easy. 1, be grateful for any job that pays you under table while you remain underpaid, underbenefited, underrecognized. 2, stay with legal family and be sure to use their address. 3, avoid the police. 4, avoid immigrations and customs enforcement. 5, avoid Arizona. 6,
Be on it.
if all else fails, stay calm. Your white skin and fame will protect you. You won't have to worry about any of this. Thank you again, Jarvis. I'll say it again.